One, two, 3 quarters has just about passed us by, and we're entering into the fourth quarter of 2025. Where do you stand? Where do I stand? We'll see. Hey guys, if you're new here, I'm Marcelino, a professional accountant and an aspiring funded trader, exploring both of these worlds with you guys watching and just experiencing life. So, in today's video, we're going to dive into what has been accomplished thus far and what we're looking forward to for the next, let's say, 75 days, just because everybody tones down after the 15th of December. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. And I don't know if anybody else has this feeling, but I would encourage you to type down in the comments if you have this feeling with regards to this year or just in general with your accomplishments. So I've accomplished something major this year in passing my board exam and becoming a professional accountant. However, coming to the end of Q3, and I've achieved pretty much all of the goals that I've set for Q3, but there's this feeling of I can do more and I can do better, right? And because I have that feeling, that means that there is space throughout my day, space throughout my week where I'm not necessarily the most productive. And so although I've become and achieved this professional goal and this career driving goal, I think there's this want to achieve and become the funded trader that I want to become. And in that process, I think there's been this lack of desire in a sense. And it's not speaking to whether I do the work or not, because I definitely do the work, but I think it's speaking to the fact that it's not consuming my day the way Project Achiever did. And if you don't know what Project Achiever is, it's simply the course that I had to do in order to prep myself for the board exam, right? And so, with that being said, I think going to Q4, it's more so putting my head down and just trying to form a system going into next year that's going to be able to work when life is busy and when life is not busy too. And so trying to just knuckle down and get the best strategy, which means back testing, which means forward testing, which means essentially just working day in and day out to become the consistent trader that you want to become. And so you've achieved so many things throughout the year, regardless whether you feel so or not at this moment, because at the current moment I don't feel like I've achieved too much, just because I feel like there is more that I can do. And with 90 days, I feel like that can be enough time for you to actually change your life and get it into a momentum and get it in a way where you can have that momentum going into 2026. And I'm gonna put that accountability on myself. I'm gonna put that all on myself to do better for myself. And yes, there's gonna be days where I'm tired. There's gonna be days where I can't do what I wanted to do, but I'm gonna have to stick to the goal. And simply the goal is that I want to work at least an hour a day, Monday through Friday after work, an hour and a half a day, which would equate to about 40 hours for the 8 weeks, if I'm correct. You guys can check my math. And then essentially at least bare minimum 4 hours over the 8 to 12 weeks. And if you're going to do that for about 8 weeks, that is around about 70 odd hours that you dedicate to a certain goal. And if you're going to count it for the full 12 weeks, it's going to be about 100 and I think it's 106 in around that area. You guys can fact check it. I don't think it's like conclusive and finalized because I didn't necessarily do the calculation on a calculator. But the ultimate goal is just to pick something and stick to it and do that. And for me, that's trading. And now going into the fourth quarter, it's essentially back testing, forward testing, and putting the strategy in plan that's going to be able to take me to another level as a trader. When I'm entering 29, what I want to be able to say is that I have confidence in my trading plan, I have confidence in my trading strategy, and I have developed it over time to become something that is sustainable, something that can achieve the gains that I want to achieve month to month, quarter on quarter, and year on year. And so that's my goal going to Q4, is just to build a solid plan that won't change for a long period of time, and get that foundation over the next 3 months where I'm confident in the fact that I can work 4 hours on a Saturday, whether it's 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, or even on a Sunday. Whichever day I pick, it's going to be the day moving forward. Now, rounding up or just wrapping up Q3. Q3 was a pretty good quarter in terms of ticking off the goals and formulating systems that's going to move me forward. However, I think what would aid in me doing this would be potentially doing lives on YouTube. Now, there's a lot of things that need to go into that, but if all goes well, that would be one of the steps that's going to keep me accountable for doing the work after work, essentially after my 9 to 5. And so with that being said, that's where I'm at, and that's what I'm looking forward to in Q4. It's just putting my head down and really knuckling down with this strategy and trying to put everything in place in order to achieve what I want to achieve and get out of it what I want to get out of this next quarter. And it's just about sticking to the plan, staying disciplined, and executing at the end of the day. Executing. You can plan as much as you want to plan, but you got to execute. And remember that nobody's going to accomplish anything for you but you. And so, with that being said, guys, remember that failure is feedback, feedback is knowledge, and knowledge is power. From my boy Marcelino at the Modern Day Trader. Look forward to so much more technical videos and so much more work videos too. So peace out, man.